All right.
Hey, I'll tell you about my salami.
Let's get some questions here on the show. This first one.
First time I heard that joke was when I hurt my knee. Not my left knee or my right knee, my wee knee. All right. You got something over there?
Can you put down the longer joke book for a few minutes?
Yeah, well, it's very valuable.
This first question was sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Ryan McGrath. I just need to hear your thoughts on Jon Moxley being ranked number 1 on the PWI 500 this year. It's obviously ridiculous, and we all know your opinion. I just need to hear the words. Thank you, sir.
Well, I have heard about this, and everybody was tweeting about it when it came out. It was like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Like that Sports Illustrated had suddenly proclaimed the fucking... It's a work, people. There is no criteria otherwise than the editors sit down, and I'm not exposing anybody's business here when I say this, because Bill Apter wrote a book, for heaven's sake. And it's been this way since the 1970s. They go through and they sit down and they decide who will sell the most magazines when they put them on the cover. Hence why Mil Mascaras was Bill Apter's go-to cover guy of the fucking 70s because his colorful outfits. You've got 2 national promotions right now, AEW and the WWE, and the WWE has had tons of covers. And I guess they came down to picking AEW for their cover because I would imagine per capita, Brian, back me up on this or disagree with me if you think I'm not correct. Per capita, the AEW fans are more willing to buy the magazines these days, more willing to spend money to get a souvenir, whatever, favorite wrestler, blah, blah, blah. So they probably figured, okay, AEW and their champion will sell us the most magazines on this. There is that's first and foremost what they're thinking about. I mean, it's not a ranking system. And I'm not shitting on it either. Like, no, they shouldn't have put him in as number 422. But if you're not going to go with somebody in the WWE, then why wouldn't you go with the other company's world champion? So by default, that's Jon Moxley. And otherwise than that, there's no really ranking system or criteria or way to quantify who the greatest wrestler in the world is amongst 20 people, none of them being Jon Moxley. But they probably wouldn't sell as many fucking magazine covers. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know what causes their decision. I don't even know who works at PWI anymore at this point to pick whoever goes number 1 in the top 500. But I will say, to your point about Moxley, despite his deficiencies in the ring, and he's a great promo, coming off his WWE run into AEW, he has proven to be one of AEW's biggest draws on TV, one of the people that moves the ratings. So if you were looking for someone to put on the cover of the magazine who would potentially boost sales, there's more of an argument for Jon Moxley than maybe anyone else in AEW currently.
Yeah. I mean, Jericho cannot, I don't think at this point, be considered in a working list. It wouldn't be right to put Jericho as the top wrestler in the world, obviously, because of his age. And he's been there before, probably on the fucking cover in previous years. So there's no other. I don't see Cody selling even though he's probably a better talent right now than both of them. I don't see Cody selling the magazines because he doesn't have the widespread mainstream recognition that either Jericho does or Moxley would be in second place because of his run there the past several years. Point is, who else in AEW would be a mainstream national top name to put on the cover of a magazine or on the in that kind of position? Nobody. So I think Moxley got it by default. He does, if it was just like the people viewed him as a guy with a, brawler gimmick, okay, it works. But when you're talking about that he's supposed to be the world champion, well, maybe there, I guess, but of a, he's not a mega level fucking world champion, big company, Rock, Austin fucking talent. I'm sorry. So his interview's great. His matches don't make a lot of sense, and he does too much garbage stuff. He has a look, and there you go. It's not that he sucks. By their standards, he's very good. He's just not the fucking greatest wrestler in the world. It's a marketing gimmick with PWI, folks. I'm sorry. I don't mean to expose anybody's business.
Taking out of the equation anyone involved with AEW who was kind of all linked together, well, basically anyone who was working for Ring of Honor before all those guys decided to go with Tony Khan and have this company. Despite what you think of some of them, obviously they are big stars in AEW, in the AEW universe, the AEW world. Beyond like those kind of guys, who do you think has been the best hire amongst the talent in AEW? You think Moxley's the best guy considering the bang for the buck, what they've gotten out of him and how the audience has reacted to him? Do you think it's Jericho? Who do you think is the best outside hire so far in AEW?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know how much he's paying these people. So, if you got a little bang for your buck, but you spent a lot of bucks, it may not have been worth it. Jericho at the start was a tremendous asset, I thought, and now I don't know what's in his mind, but he's just one of the boys at this point. Does he stand out now on that program as much as he used to, as someone a level above?
No, certainly not a level above. He seems like he's trying to play at everyone else's level now.
He's in the group rather than they are hanging around him. So he's kind of nullified himself with working with the fucking foolishness. Of outside hires, I mean, everybody else pretty much started with a thing. I'm a fan of MJF, and they've got something with Archer if they could figure out that they need to fucking give him the push they're giving Boring Brody. Moxley, they probably gotten the most out of because people do know who he is, and right now he's their champion, and he's not nearly as bad as Olivier or the Bucks or whoever. He at least, even though he's got the thumbtack ultra violent mindset, he still can halfway work and knows somehow something at some level of what he ought to be doing from the time he spent in the WWE, even if he doesn't want to admit he learned shit there. He's ahead of everybody else. I'll say that for him.